What other therapies are you utilizing at the Biohack Lab that you're excited about beyond VSEL, maybe combinations? And of course, everyone's individual, and there's personalization to this, but overall patterns do you see that are really, really impacting people?
Wow, so many.
Mm,
Well, anything that gets our nervous system regulated, and that's kind
mm,
of term, but calms this constant state of fight or flight. And we don't
mhm.
even realize we're in it because you're like, oh, I don't feel stressed. Well, your body's feeling it underneath, and we don't have to be jittery or angry to be feeling that. And that's one of the number one things I try to do before even B cells. Because if you are, for any reason, in that, we'll say blocked, clamped, fight or flight,
Yeah,
sympathetic tone, they're not going to go there and do what they need to do.
yeah.
And that's even the beginning part of all of my treatments are right there on your vagus nerve. That's where
Hmm.
I put all the energy and all the treatments before. And that's why we're trying. So what the lab here, I joke that I want to get a metal worker or somebody to create the chemical structure of oxytocin and put it on the wall. It feels like they got a warm hug when they walk out of this,
Hmm.
and everyone feels better. And the other modalities help. I mean, it might be the sauna, it might have been the red light, the PMF, but it's ultimately because their systems went down, their shoulders went down,
Yeah.
they breathed, and anything, anything is possible in that state. And we don't realize that we aren't in that state 99% of the time.
No, no.
And that's because that to me, that's a cause of dis-ease. And there are a lot of other, I mean, there's a lot of tricks out there that, or I don't even say tricks, there's modalities that help get us into that mode. But it's not, this is where I have some issues maybe with the biohack community, where if it's another thing on our list to do, even if it's a good thing, but it's like you go and you meditate for 15 minutes, but then you get right back on and you have road rage or you start yelling. I mean,
Right.
you know, am
Yeah.
I, how much, is it really doing what we wanted to do? Yes, you did it and it was great. And you had your little aha, maybe,
Yeah.
even breath work, but it goes back to that question of why, right? Why we,
Hmm.
so I love IV ozone or different
Mm,
modalities of ozone. I love frequency modalities, whether it's magnetic or whether it's pulsed electro
hmm.
PEMFs or PMAs, PMIs, whether it's voltage related or pressure related with hyperbarics or the CVAC. And I mean, there's all these other amazing things that help turn on the cells. They help with things across the membrane. They help with circulation and lymph flow. These are all good things for the body. And I love all of them. And I'm passionate about so many of them and light therapies, so all different things of frequency. Um, but the number one thing that will move the needle is if the individual is believes that they are worthy of receiving
Mm,
and worthy, or not even worthy like they've earned it, but they own that they are whole as they are. And
yes.
that is how that's miraculous healing,
Yeah.
miraculous, but it's truly what it is. Neurofeedback is a fantastic way, and we've been diving into that, and that's a whole training. But all of that is doing is unloading these levels of belief systems and things that keep us like this.
Yes.
And we have no idea why, because we didn't take the time to sit back and say, why am I doing X, Y, and Z? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I acting this way? Why am I, the why? So I know that's not quite the question you asked, but it goes into why I like all these modalities, but ultimately all these modalities come back to that's the reason I use them.
Yeah. And I've always said that these modalities are catalysts of what happens in nature, what happens when a healthy organism, that's what they do. They're not meant to push you too far, do anything. They're just reenacting basically what our body already does and has lost that ability to because of, dysregulation, as you mentioned, root causes, toxicity, whatever it may be.